Hello, welcome to Kaijudo 24/7. I'm Jared Doxator, and you are watching our set review of Invasion Earth. We are moving on to the Darkness Civilization. We just wrapped up the Water Civilization if you're following the playlist. And let's just kind of launch right into this. Keep these short and quick and brief, as brief as can be with me rambling. So we've got Chimera Predator, level 5 Chimera, Vanilla 4000, with the prevalence of chimeras, not prevalence, the lack of chimeras seen play. I know I'm going to space on his name because I didn't even think about this, but I know we met a kid out in Indiana at the KMC this season who was playing like a Chimera Blurple and was actually doing pretty well. Very strong player, and he was playing like all the low-cost chimeras. I think his curve topped at like 6 with Scarred Orbital, breaks the shield when he comes into play, Dark Scarred Orbital. But I mean, chimeras have some pretty. Hydra Medusa is just a very strong card, and but like with this guy, he's a 5-drop, so I mean, we could see him seen play in those decks, but I don't think we will. He just costs a little too much, so probably a 2, maybe a 1. I would hate to give it a 1 just because it is a chimera, and Hydra Medusa is a very strong card. Next up, we've got Ravenous Weblink, 6-drop, 6k blocker with guard. Whenever it wins a battle, banish it, and whenever this creature is banished, your opponent chooses one of his or her creatures in the battle zone and banishes that creature. I'll give it a 3. If it costs 1 less, it would be a 4. Like it combos very well with like a Gregorius Fortress or a Ripper Reaper. But the problem is it costs 6, so like you have to go this on turn 6 and then turn 7 play a Ripper Reaper and then have 2 mana left over for the 4500 blocker that's black and white. I don't know, but I mean, like Ripper Reaper, this guy is a 2-for-1 or pseudo 2. It's odd. It's kind of awkward, kind of awk. But yeah, a 3. I mean, you're always going to get value out of him. Like if he blocks and loses the fight, you're going to get a dude, and if he blocks and wins the fight, you're going to get 2 dudes. The only issue is that he does cost 6. Now, do note that he is a shadow champion, and we do have a recursion. We have a recursion spell in shadow champions. I can't think of the guy's name. He's out of base Arise though, and he's not the greatest card, but what he'll do is he'll get a shadow champion back from your yard to your hand. 1 or 2, I can't remember, but I mean, there's a thought for a neat brew. I don't know that it's necessarily going to make some waves, but you know, I give this card a 3. Always going to be a 1-for-1 no matter what. Sickly Larva. Yeah, this art is interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Level 2 Rotworm, blocker, and whenever it attacks, you destroy it. Again, Rotworms do have an Evo chain, and maybe some sort of like mono dark rush list could utilize this. I mean, having a one-off attacker is kind of whatever. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but man, I just cannot make heads or tails of that art. Sickly Larva. What is going on? Oh man. All right, well, anyway, let's give this a 2. A 2. You might see play in a Rotworm list, but again, that sounds more of like a cute little brew, maybe something you'd play at a dual day, a local, just for fun. It looks more like a rotting worm to me. Flavor text. Okay, moving on. Snake Trap. Level 3, Shield Blast. Target enemy creature gets snake 2000 until the end of the turn. Targeted removal, I think, is getting a little less strong. This is pretty interesting because it will eat almost all of the birds. Did I just lie to you? It will eat all the birds? Yes, it will eat all the birds. Nyx, Lux, Umbra. I can't remember how big Bellowa is. No one really plays Bellowa anymore. But, so I mean, there's that. If, you know, Birds of War is still seeing a lot of play, you can definitely splash 2 or 3 of this guy to answer that. The problem is that with Scamps running around and with Keeper of Laws, it doesn't do anything to a Keeper of Laws, really. And it will kill a Scamp, but, you know, 1-for-1s with Scamps are kind of tricky because they just get another Scamp. So I would still give this a 3. I could see us, you know, playing around with it and using it. It's one of those things where you could play like a 1 or 2 of, and then if it shield breaks, it shield breaks. If it doesn't, you just shield, you know, mana zone it. So it's not awful. It's just like another removal spell for black, which is, you know, could be great. Moving on, we've got Spinning Terror, level 3 Dread Mask. Dark Lord's Verdict. Whenever your opponent draws a card other than the first card of his or her turn, choose one of your opponent's shields. This creature breaks that shield. So we get a pseudo answer to Tritonus 2 sets later. I mean, that's 5 shields for, wow. I don't know how to feel about this. I think if we see people continuing the trend of not really caring about scams and keepers and continuing to play things like Logo Scan, then he could be pretty okay. I mean, he's like even. He's a 3 for 3k. Tribal support, there isn't really any tribal support. He's just kind of a weird answer. I would almost put him in the same category as like a Slumbering Giant, where, you know, oh, everyone's playing discard. If I play a Slumbering Giant, I'm gonna get a 6k double breaker for free. But like, it's just so niche that it's like, well, this guy's, you know, a little bit better at that because he can be aggressive early. And, you know, like I said again, if control moves back to being able to draw cards, then it'll be good. Even, oh, well, actually, I might modify my rating a little bit because, I mean, with other decks running like Finbars or even the Corrupted Sinestral that we just saw, this could be quite strong in like an aggro mirror where if you set yourself up properly, if they try and draw an additional cards, you're going to be able to counter swing and swoop in there and get them. So, you know, not awful. I'm just trying to think if there's a way to make your opponent draw cards in this game. I don't know that there is yet. Make your opponent draw cards. No, not that I can think of. Old Man Winter. If they drop in a yeah, no, nope. Moving on with our lives. Oh, a rating. Did I say 3? Oh, now I got it all messed up. There we go. That's okay. We'll give it a 3. Vile Malvictus, a level 8 Shadow Champion, double breaker. Whenever this creature enters the battle zone, each enemy creature gets negative 3,000 until the end of the turn. I think at level 8 it's too slow. I mean, it's really awesome that they give us like this kind of board wipe ability, and I know that when we went out to Champs in Seattle, they had mentioned that they were kind of hesitant to create a board wipe effect because it is very strong in this game. I mean, this game has no win conditions outside of no really well supported win conditions outside of creature-based win conditions. So I mean, a board wipe is obviously extremely powerful. So here we see like a pseudo board wipe. See, I said level 8 is slow. Maybe if you're playing something like green-black Kalima Control, and you have this guy in, and you're like getting kind of really good setups with your ramps, and then this could be very powerful in a rush matchup. Otherwise, I just see it flying right into the mana zone against control. It's just does too little against control for how much mana you have to invest in it, and it might just be not enough. Ring. It might just be a little too late against rush. So there's that, unfortunately. And then let's move rating. Let's give him a 2. I really hate to give a 4-star a 2, but I mean, it's just too, I think it's just too late for that kind of wipe like that. Next up, we have a level 2 Wandering Brain Eater, zombie. Blocker guard enters battle zone. Oh, it enters the battle zone tap. That's it. A level 2 4,000 that enters the battle zone. Interesting. Uncommon. Let's give it a. I'm gonna give it a 2. Just because it is so big, but it can't counter swing. But it is so big, and the odds of them having a dude on turn 2 or 1 are, you know, kind of slim depending on your list in the current meta. So I give it a 2. I don't think I'd give it a 3 because it can't attack, but it is pretty beefy for a blocker, so not bad. Next up, we're into the next color. So there's your Darkness Civ for the next set, Invasion Earth. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're in the playlist, go ahead and move on to the next color, which is red. If not, thank you very much for watching.